Nice when the sun comes through those trees, like.
I can't believe I've not actually been here since we were in primary school. But you come here quite a lot, don't you?
We hadn't been here either from primary school until COVID, the second lockdown of COVID. And then we started coming here and realised like we could have been probably here loads of times in the lockdown, but just outside just seemed like a bad place to be or something. It was strange, but when we got here, it was definitely a refuge, and just how much, just fresh air in general. It just felt really good to be out and felt like it was a day out kind of thing. Even though it's not even that far away, it just felt like you were doing something, which was really nice for a change.
And what was your experience of the first lockdown?
First lockdown, we actually found really, it was sort of freeing in a way, of just not having to do anything for a little bit. Actually, it was nice just for the start of it, and then after a week or so, then that started to be like, oh no, we can't go out. It was different. It felt like you were secluded and there was things you wanted to do but couldn't, and at that point then it turned from being a nice experience to a very isolating one. I suppose that's where the name comes from. My condition is SMA, it's spinal muscular atrophy. It's a genetic neuromuscular condition, which is progressive muscle weakness and scoliosis. So that affects the lungs and breathing and things like that. So colds and flus are a big concern for myself.
And what does it mean for you if you do get something like a cold or a flu?
It's really dangerous. Like a lot of the time at the start, people would say, you know, COVID would just be like a cold or a flu, and they thought that was reassuring, but actually that just added more anxiety over it, because a cold and a flu to me is really serious. At the start, we were isolating rather than shielding, which was the door closed, no family, no friends coming in, no one coming in really, and just it was exactly as it sounds, isolating, where it was just us, our bubble, me and my family, and that stayed like that for the first 3 months without going out at all, and then that moved to coming out to parks like this and doing things at social distance, meeting family in the garden with the masks on, things like that. So that turned into shielding at that point, which is, you know, wearing the protective gear and protecting yourself as well as others at the same time. We decided to shield because of my condition. Just if I got a cold or a flu, anything like that, it gets serious very quickly. Over COVID, they were making anyone with conditions like my own, neuromuscular conditions, to sign a DNR form, which is a do not resuscitate form. So it means if you need any invasive help measures or anything, they wouldn't do that. And they were getting people to sign that straight away. That was over the online forums I found that out, and there was petitions to try and stop it. So obviously that's a huge worry. One, to go into hospital in the first place, but then to have this form that they wouldn't do the measures that you may need, like tracheas or ventilation or anything like that. They wouldn't do those. Yeah, so I had an experience 9 years ago now with a doctor in resus, where she refused to give extra treatment, which was ICU or high dependency, which I needed at that time to get over the chest infection. It had gone deep into the lungs and was a double chest infection. So she just seen the neuromuscular condition and said that I had no quality of life, and told my family that it would be better to let me go. It was very belittling. You know, it belittles your life really when somebody says that. It's just on paper. It may look like a different life, but different doesn't necessarily mean bad. So those words always stuck with me, was no quality of life. So to sort of take back control of those words, I made my blog called A Quality Life, which sort of was the complete opposite of what the doctor had said. And it felt good to do that, but it's definitely stuck with me for the last 9 years in PTSD sort of manner. So it's definitely had a huge impact just hearing those words.
When was the last time you can remember seeing any guidance for shielders from the Northern Ireland government?
It's a while ago. It'd be over a year ago, yeah. I think, from actual shielders guidance. Anything after that was just mentioned quite quickly, but nothing from that.
And who do you go to now if you like have a question or like you sort of need some guidance?
Well, Facebook social groups are really good. All different people together that can kind of share their views on what they're doing and how they feel about it. It's really nice to get it out there and talk to them as well. Rachael is a good friend from California who I met there. Who's a painter, and he was always really interested in like photos of going around the forest parks and things, because that was what we were doing. That was what he was interested in painting. And I was sending photos to him and he painted some of them, which was really cool. So that was really nice to be connected, but so far away.
Sort of looking to the future, what are your hopes for the future moving forward?
Well, I've planned to go to like a art class in May that I already checked, and it was social distance and less numbers and things like that. So that'll be the first big thing of actually doing anything that I used to do. The anxiety's always going to be there. I think for years to come, it's just really, again, just doing what you really want to do and making sure that it's safe to do it and that you feel comfortable doing it. So that's my plan for going ahead, is starting to get my own things back and things I love to do. Yeah, so I got into crystals and crafts art again, which was really nice, just to revisit things that I hadn't done in a while. Just sort of give you that little sort of escape from shielding and isolating and all those things and COVID, just getting out of your own head and focusing and distracting on something else. And then selling those things for charity and stuff was really nice, because it was felt that you were helping, which was really good when you sort of felt hopeless with COVID. It was nice to feel that you were actually doing something that was helping somebody else. That really helped. Little good things came out of COVID, the shielding and things too. It's not all been terrible, but the fear has always been in the background.